Good morning. Today is March 16, 2016, here at Washington Family Church, National Cathedral. Our reading today is from the Cheon Seong Gyeong, page 776, from chapter 4, Returning, Resurrection, and Divine Spiritual Works. Subtopic, You Pay the Price for Working Miracles and Wonders. Number 12. God's cooperation come about when we apply principles and rules to our life. God is not like mindless faith. What happens to people who chase after miracles and wonders and declare, just believe and it will come true? When a person works miracles and wonders, what happens to him and his clan? In the case of revivalists who were famous in Korea, whose names were well known in the past, did things go well for them and their descendants? Things did not go well. Why is that? When you blindly ask for something and it comes true, you inevitably have to pay the price for what you blindly ask for. If you perform miracles despite not possessing such ability, you are performing such acts by the power granted to you by God. When you do such things with the power of God, Satan will accuse you for the blessings and the things you receive, but did not merit. It is the same as everything crumbling when there is no foundation. Number 13. If Moses have not performed miracles and wonders, he would not have failed. That means that if Jesus did not perform miracles and wonders, he would not have died on the cross. Miracles and wonders are not good things. They draw down a great deal of sacrifice for just a smile. Nowadays, where are the preposterous groups of people who unthinkably believe in miracles and say that through miracles and wonders they will sort out heaven and earth and settle everything in the world? Number 14, Jesus, who walked the course of restoration, didn't perform miracles and wonders happily. If you think he worked miracles and wonders because he was joyful and comfortable, that is a big misunderstanding. Since he had no place to lay his body on this earth, and no place on which he could rely in the universe, he was in a situation where he had no choice but to appeal to heaven. We must consider the resoluteness of Jesus, who was in such a desperate state. When he said he was in sad and pitiful circumstances, and raised his hands and called out, "My Father," miracles occurred there. Those miracles and wonders appeared through circumstances in which he called out from a place of such extreme sorrow that even his bones and flesh were melting from sheer grief. Number 15, if I pray, I can perform any number of miracles and wonders. However, no matter what circumstances arise, I will not do so. What is the use of fixing temporary circumstances? Even if I fix them, it is of no use in heaven. It has no effect. Quite a few people have performed miracles or numerous miracles in Korea, but I have never done that publicly. Even when I am insulted, for example, I remain still. Since I walk alone, I must prepare by myself the path I will go. I believe that people who do not prepare fade away. After making all the preparations, I went on the big stage of America and shook it up. I said Christianity had done wrong and should repent. Number 16. If I have lacked wisdom, I would have ruined everything. If I offered prayers to cure illnesses, 1,000 or even 10,000 people would have been cured. However, I do not want to do that. Instead, we have to educate people. Spiritual works are for the moment, but the truth lasts for 10,000 years. Now it is your time. You can do anything, even cure others' illnesses. With just a look, you can cure leprosy and all other disorders. If your passion is set aflame and you forget to eat or sleep because of your love for Reverend Moon of the Unification Church, any illnesses can be cured. You will even forget you are sick, and after you have lived for a year forgetting you are sick, your illness actually will be gone. The miracles and wonders of the Bible are nothing. Looking at it this way, I have carried out countless such works. Section 3, returning resurrection of people in the spirit world. I bestowed upon some individuals on earth a special marriage blessing with spirits who lived and passed away thousands of years ago. Those people are living with those spirits now. They wanted to marry them because they expect that the chance of their going to the kingdom of heaven through marriage to a spirit in the spirit world is better than through marriage with a person living in this world at the present time. The couple's bodies and minds are always united, just like God's, so they do not fight. Therefore, the body and mind of those who marry such spirits while living on earth will not fight with each other. And if the spouse on earth comes to be bound for hell, the spirit spouse can say, "Follow me. I will guide you." Then they automatically go into the heavenly realm. If people know this background, everyone might want to marry a spirit. Reasons spirits return and cooperate. Number 2. You know about the heaven and earth blessing, do you not? Through it, the divided spiritual and physical worlds are united, and the people who are now in hell can be sought out and blessed. After you join the Unification Church, you have to rise above the level of nation, because your mission is on the global level. You can pull out and bless those who are in hell for crimes committed against a nation. You can carry out a liberation movement with your mother or your relatives or anyone on earth related to you by blood at the center. Do you think I have bitter feelings now? I have laid my hands upon everything to which I was called. Now is the time for fighting. Having steered the invisible spirits to come down to earth, we must act as their leaders. Since we couldn't act as the leaders of this world, we should at least become the leaders of the people who have passed into the spirit world. The leaders of our ancestors, shouldn't we? Everyone is wishing for that. I have bestowed a blessing upon innumerable people from the religious realm and permitted the blessing of their sons and daughters and the blessing of the spirit world. I tell you, find your way to places where you have a connection of heart. Go and bless generations of people in your religious denomination, even without sleeping. The question is, whether we have set the standard that will allow people in the spirit world, unknown to humankind, to mobilize and testify to us. The spirit world also demands such conditions. Since the spirit world knows God's heart, if people with that standard on earth appeal to them, spirit people will mobilize to help with the work on earth that actualizes the ideal of the heavenly kingdom. The reason spirit people cannot come to earth is that we have erected fences of lamentation. Number 5, all spirits in the heavenly world receive the blessing as elder siblings and ancestors. They protect those on earth from all directions, east, west, north, and south. So those on earth can perfect the ideal family of the able realm. In other words, the entire spirit world returns to earth and cooperates with those on earth by protecting, nurturing, and accompanying them so they can enter the heavenly kingdom in a satisfactory way. These spirits are blood relatives who possess the love, life, and lineage of God. They share the one unified heart that goes beyond the boundaries of village, nation, race, and religion. They are of the same universal bloodline. Their color is universal. Number 6. In the spirit world, there are no such concepts as far and near. Since the world transcends time and space, no matter where your home is, it is in your field of vision. This is why spirits can help you at any time, across any distance. In such a manner, spirits moving in the spirit world come down to earth frequently, following their network. As the number of spirits who come down to a village increases gradually, they start relieving one another. They can carry out a campaign to eradicate the evil spirits in that village. Thus, the environment is naturally purified. They carry out that kind of campaign. They come down to earth and form connections centering on their relatives. When they return to the spirit world, their efforts become indemnity and form a proportional foundation for them to go to the better place. Therefore, even the spirit world will enter an era of competition. Number 7, now the ancestors in the spirit world must be deployed to the earth. And who is the person who can deploy them? God cannot deploy them. To do so would violate the principle. I am the one who must deploy them. No matter where they were born, they are to return to their birthplace, their hometown. All will return. You enable your ancestors to rise above paradise and go to the kingdom of heaven by having them participate in blessing activities. This is logically correct. Do you know what virtuous people have lived in your hometown and passed on? You should surpass them. When we think that the spirits who died with sorrow and regret are returning to the earth, and that they are coming to where we live to cooperate with us and attend us as if we were their elder siblings and their rulers, we should become the best there is. Number 8, if God were to look down upon this neighborhood, he couldn't help but shed tears because the people here are destined for hell. That being the case, you should feel of your own accord the desire to shed tears in his place. When the power of resonance enters you, enabling you to shed tears with the heart of God, the entire spirit world is mobilized. As human beings, you should be moved to tears in God's presence. You cannot communicate with the spirit world unless you reach a position where God can say, thank you. The descendants of the fallen Adam and Eve are much better than Adam and Eve of old, and then be moved to shed tears himself. Only when God is moved to tears, asking, how could the descendants of fallen Adam and Eve, the descendants of traitors, come to be like this? Will the spirit world come to your assistance? It is from there that the spirit world opens. Anything less than that will never work. This is the principle. Number 9. We have to mobilize this spirit world. How can heaven be built without moving or mobilizing the spirit world? It cannot. Heaven is supposed to begin from the true parents, not from fallen descendants who have existed until now. Just as the angelic world helped when Adam was created, the spirit world should come down to earth and help at the time of recreation. Otherwise, it cannot be achieved. Number 10, when your entire family comes to believe in God, and the grandfather and grandmother, sons and daughters, and grandchildren take charge of this and that responsibility, the family can function as 3 generations. When this happens, you restore your parents and thus all at once, your grandparents and their parents and their parents' parents. In short, your ancestors over thousands and tens of thousands of generations. The age is coming when the spirit world can return to the earth. The system on earth determines the system in the spirit world. They can become one. When such an amazing thing takes place, will not the spirit world be overjoyed? This being so, the era of the victory of religion has now come. In other words, the era of the victory of the spirit world has come. 11. Thanks to the coming of Jesus upon the earth, the good ancestors who preceded him were able to transition from the form spirit level of the spirit world to the life spirit level. Likewise, your ancestors have come into a realm of special privilege, where they can return to earth through the conditions you set on the earth. If you understand this aspect of the will and become a branch of the victory, then you are in the position where you can become a life spirit, and your ancestors will cooperate. In the same way, you should become the base upon which thousands of generations of your good ancestors can return to earth. The era of Jesus was one in which the spirit world helped conditionally for the sake of resurrection to the life spirit level. But now is the era in which you can achieve the divine spirit level at which spirit world helps unconditionally for the sake of resurrection. Since such an era has come, there is no greater blessing. The point is that the spirit world is helping you. Number 12, on earth we have transcended the blessing, the world and everything in it, and have come into the environment in which everyone can acknowledge that. Furthermore, as we have the environment everyone needs, the question now is how we can set the standard for the accomplishment of the liberation and create joy. All you need is to carry out this task. Aren't you supposed to make God happy first? When God rejoices together with your ancestors, the entire spirit world, tens of thousands of generations can rejoice. They are as one body. Therefore, we have to know God, and you have to know the spirit world. Isn't that how people need to live? What does it mean when we tell ourselves that we want to love others, want to make a good impression, and be outstanding. It means we want to create an environment that can be better and live good for future generations. Doesn't it mean we want to establish wonderful descendants in the coming generations who will stand as the nucleus and who will affect the nation and move into the most prominent positions? It is very simple, an unavoidable conclusion. To the degree you do not receive this, you will be disciplined in both the heavenly world and earthly world. Number 13, in the Unification Church, we have the Spirit World Liberation Ceremony. There are ceremonies for ancestral liberation and for ancestral blessing. The blessed family members of the Unification Church can attend their ancestors just as they are. We can attend them as heavenly families representing God only, providing we have blessed our elder and younger siblings, our mothers and aunts and many others in spirit world. Now the time has come. It is not idol worship. Number 14, until now, many babies have gone to the spirit world. Does the word blessing exist for them? It does not. But true parents came to earth, severed the lineage of Satan's world, and resolved all conditions of indemnity. As a result, based on the blessed families in the spirit world, those who died as babies have been raised until they are 16 years old and then blessed. Children grow even in the spiritual world. When parents care for their baby and the family commemorates the day on which the child was born, the baby grows. When conditions are offered on the baby's behalf, such growth is possible. And if there are good ancestors of several generations, the baby can be raised within the realm of their care. I gave the blessing to the babies who have gone to the spirit world and who have been raised to the age of 16 and above. So tomorrow we'll be reading about the establishment of the right of the eldest son in the spirit world. So that's our reading today. My friends and relatives, my town mates, my office mates, and my nation. You have a few more seconds here. Thank you again for listening, and have a great and wonderful Wednesday, March 16, 2016. Mansi Mansi. Bye-bye.